Hello, everyone. Welcome to Down the Middle. As always, I'm your host, Jake, and I'm joined by my cohort, my partner in crime. I don't know I'm spacing on any New York terms. So
I don't know
the
them either.
the guy from, I mean, I guess technically I could call you a Yankee, but that's kind of all encompassing. So I feel like that's not fair. And this is also assuming
That's
you're
true.
not a Mets fan.
No, no. Well, I'm not a sports fan in general. Like I never watch sports.
Okay, yep, and we've got the obligatory audio check out of the way. So, okay, at least I didn't insult you. Um, we are we are here to talk about SummerSlam, and specifically, we're going to preview the card. And I'll be honest. When summer, which first of all, is it on Saturday or Sunday? August 3rd. Oh, so that's actually wow, that's the night before I come back from my travels.
Okay.
I might have to try to watch this some. I should be able to. Should be close enough to the United States. Should be making our way back. Anywho, yeah. So we'll kick off with a bang, and I gotta be honest. There's something that bothers me is that I keep forgetting to tell people about the sponsors before the show starts. This podcast is brought to you by One Weekend at Horrorland. That's right. Again, the horror and Goosebumps convention being put on by our friends over at the Goosebumps crew, RT Media and Force Stand Corp. There's still some time to donate to the Kickstarter, get your tickets, and for those of you who remember, get one of your free complimentary autographs. They're still available. I still don't know who this dude is, by the way. Have no idea. Nobody's
Yeah,
helping me.
I have no idea. I've seen that mask before or
I
something
know.
similar to it, but I
Well,
have
I mean,
no
think about what you just said. You've seen a luchador mask similar to
idea.
it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm trying to find. And don't forget, we've got this one's still available.
Look at Danhausen.
Danhausen. Danhausen is still up for grabs. So don't forget that. And we'll talk a little bit more about One Weekend at Horrorland later, and we'll show you a promo video where the literal voice of Wolverine threatens you bodily harm. So stay tuned for that.
So,
Okay, the first match. So what I was saying, I just realized every one of these matches except for the last one, the main event,
yeah.
has a championship on the line. This looks like an AEW pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that either.
Like just on paper, 7 matches, everybody's got a belt.
Yeah.
This one will be better though, but I guess I'll give him a pass because I guess it's not the WWE champion, but I do if this is the match order, I do have a problem with this as a purist, but
Hmm.
so allegedly we have Damian Priest defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther, which I mean, we knew once Gunther lost the IC title, it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, that was the reason why he lost it. It
I
was to get
still,
the champion.
I still maintain though, I still wish he would have relinquished it.
Absolutely. To me, it will look much better that he didn't lose at all.
Yeah,
It would have made him
because
more
again,
stronger.
yeah, he gets it happens every time in wrestling. They get a promotion after losing, and it just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. I know a lot of people don't make that big of a deal out of it because it's just wrestling, man, but it's like
Hmm.
it still just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
But it'll be a great match. Um, it'll be one of the few times where I don't know. I was gonna say something, and then I realized like no, that's gonna make it sound like Priest will look bad. But no, everybody's gonna look phenomenal in this match.
I bet I get what you're saying. Like, Damian Priest doesn't have like not the worst matches, but not
But
matches
he's
that I
not
remember.
well, he's not Gunther
Yeah, yeah,
is
exactly.
what I was getting
It's
at,
different. Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I don't mean that as an insult at all because I think Damian Priest is amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's going his own. I do like him.
But that's like saying somebody's not Shawn Michaels. I mean, that's not an insult, that's an
Yeah,
observation.
yeah.
Um Now here's the interesting thing though. I do predict Damian will retain, I think this is literally just to get Gunther's foot in the door for the world title picture.
I think Gunther is going to win actually, but the problem I have with it, that if he does win, uh, what happens to Damien? Like his run as champion wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best either. You know.
It was no Hangman Page. It was no Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I know what you mean. And although if their goal, which I would just say, why didn't they do this before? If their goal was to give legitimacy to this championship, Gunther is he's
Yeah,
the one.
absolutely.
Unless Sami Zayn decides he wants to be world title. See, that's why it bothers me.
Yeah.
Because if Gunther wins, he's the world
Hmm.
heavyweight champion, but then Sami Zayn decides, "Hey, I beat you for the IC title. What's the difference in the world title? It's an even bigger accomplishment." So why wouldn't in logically speaking, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, logically, he'll be right. Like I beat you for this, so why can't I challenge you for something even bigger? Just wouldn't make sense.
The only legitimate reason would be if it was a weight class disparity, but then they wouldn't have faced each other in the first place.
Exactly.
So there's no good reason whatsoever for I don't know. That's why I'm kind of hoping Damien retains because also
Hmm.
I don't I to me it seems like his reign's not done.
To me, he didn't have like not like a long reign. Like to me, he didn't do much with it, or I'm not sure if he like got challenged for the belt that many times.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where it's like I can see which to my mind is actually good booking because it's like I can see it's not obvious who's going to win, and that makes
Yeah.
it interesting. But at the same time,
Hmm.
there's going to be a fallout no matter who wins. Less so with Damien winning, but
Hmm.
what the hell is that noise? I know you can't hear it. Hang on one second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
entertain the fans. Do a song or dance or something.
All right, sure. Not sure it's my fan or not. Do you still hear it?
Sorry about that. I know, terribly unprofessional. I heard a
That's
cat.
cool.
I heard a cat like
Oh, I
screaming
thought it
or
was
something.
a fan or something.
No,
Okay.
and I thought I might have like accidentally locked mine in a closet or something, but no, it was just one
Uh-huh.
outside screaming for some reason. But anyway, yeah. So you think Gunther will win?
Yeah, I really think he's going to win.
Okay, I'm gonna say Damien, but we'll see. We'll see. Following that, we've got Bailey defending her WWE Women's Championship against Nia Jax, the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah. Um
I love your yeah.
it's just like it's not the most exciting match. Uh Honestly, I don't know who would win. I would say probably Nia,
See, here's
being
the
that she came
thing.
back.
Yeah, here's the
But
thing, and this is why it's not a bad thing. But WWE is now, it seems like when they're booking, they're kind of booking in a way that makes more sense logically, but it's at the expense of wrestling logic. So let me explain. Wrestling logic would say that Bailey will overcome and win against Nia. However, how they
mhm.
booked Queen of the Ring says that Nia can't be stopped, and so I don't really know where they're going with this, or because I they obviously brought, to my mind at least, they obviously brought Nia Jax back to be a heel.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know anyone that actually likes watching Nia Jax on television. I'm sure there's someone out there, but she's a heel. But Bailey just overcame a heel to win the title, so I'm not really sure. And I'm happy about this. It's not obvious to me what they're gonna do. Actually, you can well say for one of these matches, well. I don't know.
Well, obviously, only one of them that I'm pretty sure I know who's going to win, and that person doesn't. Then it's like, what's the point?
You know what? WWE's throwing curveballs lately. I'm gonna say Nia.
Oh, I am too. Oh, I
Yeah.
really do think it's Naya.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but I've learned with Triple H at the helm, I just go along for the ride. Don't try to figure it out because you'll be happy with the result in the end. But and then
I think
immediately,
she's going to win though.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think Nia's gonna win.
hmm
Immediately following that, Liv Morgan is defending the Women's World Championship against the triumphantly returning Rhea Ripley, who came back sooner than expected, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, a whole lot soon. I didn't expect her to like maybe towards the end of the year or something like
Yeah,
that,
that's what I was thinking, but
like Halloween Havoc or something.
yeah. I mean, you do keep hearing though about the like incredible doctors that WWE has access to, and
That's true.
not like in the bad way where it was like, oh, I just got out of surgery. Cool, you're gonna be on Monday Night, pal. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
like like recovery time for a normal person is like 6 months, and these people come back in 3 to 4 because when they're injured, they are paid to like, okay, you're not on the road. Your job is to do physical therapy and get back and get cleared as soon as possible. Like, but
hmm
not at the expense of your health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems to be a completely different culture, and it's one that I'm a big fan of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wish more wrestling and even sports places,
Yeah.
adopt that type of attitude.
Well, it's really funny that we're mentioning this because CM Punk kind of let slip the AEW
Oh yeah,
when he
yeah,
was
yeah,
injured.
yeah.
It's I didn't get the sense that it was like nefarious. I got the sense that it was negligence. Like no one thought to line up a doctor for CM Punk.
Yeah. It felt like it wasn't on purpose. It felt like more like
It felt
they
like somebody
didn't he
dropped the
didn't think
ball.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and I this is pure speculation, but I've been in companies like this before. AEW seems to me like the kind of company where there's too many people, and because of that,
Yeah.
there's too many overlapping responsibilities, and there's probably a lot of because I mean, you heard about when Dalton Castle's Boys got released, there was a travel thing, which by the way, it was totally their fault, but
Yeah, yeah,
it was also the AEW office just assuming that someone else was dealing with it.
yeah.
That's the sense I got. So I'm sure it was like Tony Khan sitting there like, okay, talent relations will handle getting Phil set up with a doctor. I don't need to look into it. And talent relations, one of the six people that are in it is like, okay, I'm sure, Christopher Daniels is doing it,
Yeah.
or Christopher Daniels is like,
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
my secretary's doing it. And then
Yeah.
before you know it, Punk's sitting there like, where's my fucking doctor? So
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
you're right.
I don't know. I've been in organizations like that though, and it's just kind of like it can get very frustrating because nobody means to
hmm
drop the ball, but at the same time, like it happens all the time because you just assume that somebody else is taking care of it.
Uh-huh.
But that being said, I have to confess, I'm seeing what they're doing with Liv and Dom, and
Uh-huh.
I don't want to enjoy it, but I can't help it. I'm loving it. I'm so entertained by this. And I
Yeah, it's like
don't
guilty pressure guilty pleasure.
But I don't want to be. Like at first I cringed every time Liv called him Daddy Dom. I was like, "Oh, this is."
Yeah, yeah.
But the same thing happened with the mommy thing. At first I was like, this just feels,
Cringy. Yeah.
yeah." But now it's a thing. And like I'm a Liv Morgan fan, so at first I was like, "Ah, damn it. They put the title belt on her and now she's doing this." But I mean, she's owning the bit.
Yeah, it worked.
She's
Well,
committing
yeah, it's working a lot.
she's committing to the bit. And as much as this might piss off the keyboard warriors, I'm much more of a Liv Morgan guy than a Rhea Ripley guy. So Dom, I get it.
It's just kind of
Oh
fun because they both are married. Yeah,
yeah, I
Dom
know.
is
That's the
married,
is
and
Liv. I don't think
so
Liv
is
is married. She might be
no,
though.
I
I'm
don't
not
think Liv
sure.
is
Yeah, but like both Dom and Rhea are both married.
married.
And you
Yeah.
know what? I don't know whose idea this was. I think it might have been Rhea's though, or they may have talked about it. The way
Uh-huh.
they handled that outside of the ring is kind of genius because Rhea Ripley has done interviews and they acknowledge that she's married to Buddy
Hmm.
Matthews, but they kind of play it off as like, well, what happens in WWE stays in WWE, if you know what I mean. Like that's kind of how they play it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, it is also worth noting you can find a hilarious video on the internet out of Dom at his wedding getting booed by the crowd.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
It's
that
it's
was funny.
it's absolutely hilarious. I'll be honest, I think Liv's gonna retain somehow. Probably inadvertent interference because of Dominic. Like Dominic's gonna be in play
Yeah, I was
here.
gonna say, I do believe Dom is gonna like switch sides. People live
I don't know. I
and
don't know that he's gonna switch sides yet. I
uh-huh.
think he might, but I think what it's gonna
Uh-huh.
be is he's gonna try to get in there and help Rhea, and he's gonna end up getting in the way. But it's gonna,
Yeah.
typical confusion.
That's
You
yeah,
know,
that would be the first step. Like
yeah,
he's trying to help Rhea,
eventually.
but end up helping Liv in the meantime. Yeah.
Well, and what's gonna be interesting, I wonder if they do end up putting Dom with Liv, what kind of direction they're gonna go with that. Are they gonna go with like a Shawn Michaels sensational Sherry kind of thing? Where he just starts like not abusing her, but he starts like
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean if they're trying to make keep Dom a heel because let's face it, he's already a heel. I mean that
He has to
I'd book
stay at Hill.
I'd book that. I'd book that as he ends up going with it, but probably make it so it's not so much that he picks Liv over Rhea, it's just that Rhea is like I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And so
Uh-huh.
then he just kind of puppy dogs along with Liv, but then it kind of morphs because she's less assertive than Rhea as a character. So then he
Uh-huh.
kind of just starts getting what he wants out of it. You know what I mean? I think that could be
Yeah.
very interesting if they do it right.
Yeah, at least for a few weeks.
Oh no, I think you got to carry that. I think for that to work out really well, you've really got to like they
Let
did
it
with
grow, I
Dom.
guess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, that's
you
true,
got
that's
to
true.
let it simmer.
Yeah.
You can't do a Bobby Lashley Lana again. You got to do Shawn Michaels and Sensational Sherry.
Uh-huh. That was horrible with Bobby Lana. It was entertaining, but still, it's like I didn't want to see
It could have been done.
that.
It just came off as very odd because again, like
Yeah,
Rusev's still on TV at the time. You know they're married. They've acknowledged that they're married, and then I don't know. It just and plus,
it's just weird.
I think Bobby was kind of like, "Are we really doing this? Like,
Uh-huh.
why are we doing this?" But so I think Liv will win. What do you think?
Oh, I got Liv too. I would say Rhea because she just came back, so like, but I do say Liv because it'll give more to the story in the chase for
Yes,
Rhea to
and the
chase the
thing,
belt versus
and
to just win it.
yeah, yeah, and the thing of it is clearly their plan was to have win Liv. Wow, their plan was to have Liv win the belt because Rhea got injured in a backstage angle, not during the title match. So
Yeah.
this was the plan. So I think they're gonna, and obviously when Rhea comes back, you have to have her face Liv. Otherwise, everybody's gonna be like, why is she not facing Liv? This doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
So you have to, and this is what I mean. I love WWE's booking right now because even when they're booked into a corner, they still get out of it in a way that makes logical sense, unlike some wrestling promotions that we know,
Yeah.
i.e., Will Ospreay losing a world title match and then being immediately in a lesser title match. Although
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
am given to
Uh,
understand, I haven't watched it, but I am given to understand that the match he had with MJF was really good.
I heard it, but I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it sometime somewhere.
Well, and I promise everybody, like I said, I will be traveling, and during that time, I will be getting my Zen on, refocusing. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to be better about watching my wrestling every week. So I'll be back up to speed. I've been one of those social media people. I'm just seeing highlights here and there.
Oh, same here. Same here. Like I haven't enjoyed watching and looking constantly at wrestling for a while now. I was watching clips or only like pay-per-views, and that's it.
Yeah. But let's see what do we got next. So and this is the match order that really irks me is at match 4, which I have a feeling if it is here, I think this is Cody's idea.
Mhm.
Cody is defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Solo Sikoa. Um, and I was about to say it's obvious who's going to win this, but I don't know
Oh,
because then I thought though, let's say it depends. So let's say hypothetical fantasy booking. Let's say this Solo wins. Perfect time for Roman to come back
yeah.
and be like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Not immediately, like not at the pay-per-view, but like soon. I guess you could do it at the pay-per-view, but I feel like
Hmm.
to me it seems like if the bloodline's involved, again, it needs to simmer. People need to if that were to happen, people need to get over they need to process the shock of Solo winning that belt before you bring Roman back in, if that makes sense.
No, it does because it'll take away from him winning or that
Exactly. It
shock
would
of
pull the
winning. It'll
it
just
would
deflate it.
yeah. It would pull the rug out from under him. Now that being
Yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah.
I think that's too soon. I think Cody needs to I don't know how they're gonna do this, but I
I
trust
was
them to do it.
thinking The Rock was going to come back just to be like the head for Solo. Then leaves Roman to come back to help Cody in a way, and that way they have the Rock versus Roman match
Yeah.
later on for
Yeah,
next year.
to me it just seems too soon, but again,
It does, it does.
but I have learned to trust the WWE creative team as of late. So
Uh,
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try to figure it out. I'm gonna watch it and I'm probably gonna love it. And I ate crow when it came to Cody. So although I guess I haven't watched the WrestleMania behind the scenes documentary yet, but apparently The Rock coming in and taking Cody's place was actually supposed to happen, according to them. Like that was actual change that they made. And
yeah.
apparently it was the fans in a true like Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston-esque moment is they were like, no, we want Cody. So now I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh wow. So that was very close to and kudos to The Rock for,
Uh,
stepping aside and giving the fans what they wanted, but still making it as though we weren't going to get it. So good tease.
yeah.
I mean,
I,
kudos.
yeah, it was good
He
because
still
I
got a belt
expected
out
it
of
as
it.
good. Yeah.
I'm making the guess that Cody's going to retain, but I don't know how they're going to do it without this starting to get repetitive. Although Cody's never faced Solo, has he?
I think he has, but not like
Not for the title, I mean.
seriously. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I think he did. Not too sure. I thought he did at least one time.
Maybe. Oh, you know what? Yes, he did. He did. I'm pretty sure he did. But anyway. Oh no, not since he won it.
Oh no, no, not since he won it. No, 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 not since then. But
He's
before when he was fighting for
he's wrestled
the
solo,
Roman.
yes, but
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
not for the belt. Okay.
No, no.
Um, I'm also fascinated how the, like the obvious nepotism of the bloodline members getting elevated to the world title picture doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
here for it because on paper Solo Sikoa is not somebody who should be over and I'm not going to make the case that he's over yet, but he's getting over definitely. Solo
Yeah,
Sikoa
he's
is
in the
somebody
route.
yeah, he should not be in a world title match, but I'm totally cool with it on paper. I'm not
Uh-huh.
saying he doesn't deserve it. I just mean who he is, how he was brought in as a an enforcer lackey. Although I guess Diesel
Hmm.
did it.
Yeah, and Batista.
Yeah, Batista.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Deacon
it's
Batista.
eh,
Deacon.
who is the freaking Deacon? Oh, never mind. I know that was one of Luke Gallows' indie gimmicks, the freaking Deacon.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where have I heard that before? By the way, for those of you, I kind of wish I know why he can. Well, hang on. Where are Gallows and Anderson? Gallows and Anderson are back in WWE, right?
As far as I know, but I haven't seen them. Maybe they're on Speed or something like that, or
Fucking probably.
main event.
Yeah, probably. But okay, so there was a while there where Chris Jericho, when he was still in WWE, he was doing the talk and shop segments with Gallows Anderson and a rotating fourth guest, and sometimes
Okay.
AJ Styles. Oh my God. Gallows and Anderson are two of the funniest people on planet Earth. Gallows in particular, although Anderson is a little bit more subtle, but he cracks me up.
Yeah.
Um, but I love when they talk about their old gimmicks, like, and then did you see the Southpaw Championship Wrestling?
Oh, I
Oh,
did, I
Southpaw
did.
Regional Wrestling.
Yeah, that was
Oh
funny.
my God, those are so funny, and I'm so like I still think, and you know what's funny is Impact totally ripped it off too, but in a completely different way, and I appreciated it. So they
Uh-huh.
they took it and ran with it and actually did a pay-per-view that was like a 1980s style wrestling pay-per-view. Now, what I can't remember is if they had different personas or not, or if they just did an 80s themed pay-per-view.
Uh-huh.
But I'm over here, I was seriously saying, I was like, why doesn't WWE do Showdown at the Swamp like as a legit pay-per-view, but
Yeah,
as the
I kind of wish they
characters?
continued it.
I would have loved to watch that. That would have been that would have been hilarious. And the fact that you have John Cena not wrestling on it, only doing commentary.
Yeah, that was good.
That
John
is
Cena was
oh,
there.
Lance
Rusev was
Catamaran.
there.
Everybody was there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rusev playing a farm guy. Like, oh my God, that would have been
yeah.
hilarious. And even Jericho was there still, Clint Bobsky. But you had
Yeah. That was so
oh,
funny.
you had it wasn't he wasn't. Oh no, Edge was Sexton Hardcastle on the indie. What was because Anderson was Chad Too Bad, which was his actual like one of his early indie gimmicks, and then
Uh-huh.
oh, he was Tex Ferguson. Gallows was, but his actual indie name on his actual indie name back then was Sex Ferguson. But they made him Tex Ferguson, and oh my God, that whole bit was hilarious. And then you had, I think, yeah, it was TJP who was like the straight lace babyface champion that had no personality whatsoever.
Yeah. He
Oh
was
my
there.
God, he was just like, I'm gonna defend this belt because I'm gonna
Steph
defend
and
this.
Rhino was there. The Bushers.
Oh God, it was too good. It's too good. I want more. I want it to come back. And now you've got
Yeah.
CM Punk. Imagine what you can do with that. CM Punk could totally be like a oh, who would they should give him like a biker gimmick. Actually, they should just make Punk like a they should give Punk an Undertaker gimmick for Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Yeah.
Don't he doesn't talk at all. CM Punk doesn't speak. He just kind of stands there and goes,
I would
be good,
watch that.
be
I
good
kind of
shit.
wish that was real.
They should, and you know that was all Triple H.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was not like serious, it was just fun wrestling.
Well, and did anybody else get a kick out of the fact that when they were doing the Ric Flair spot, like the ad spots, they said it was a paid
Uh-huh.
Ric Flair impersonator, but it was just Ric Flair?
Yeah, forgot about that.
Oh my God, I loved it so much. And apparently AJ Styles, actually I've heard it, so it's not apparently, I can vouch for it. AJ Styles does an amazing Ric Flair impression.
Oh, that was one thing I heard.
Yeah, it's apparently it got him heat for a little while because Rick got wind that he was doing it and thought he was making fun. He was like, "No, man, I'm just doing the voice. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm given to understand they're cool now, but yeah. Good stuff. I don't know. Do you got Cody or Solo?
Oh, I'm gonna pick Solo just
Oh,
just
bold
because of
choice.
they call it interference with like Jacob Fatu. Just because he has him, I'm gonna pick Solo.
Yeah, yeah. You want to be different. I get it. I get it. So now we will have slightly past the middle of the pay-per-view. So now we're going to play you the promo video from our sponsor, One Weekend at Horrorland. Check it out. You're gonna love this, especially if you're a '90s kid. You're gonna love this.
Hi, folks. My name is Cal Dodd, and I voice Slappy from Goosebumps, the TV series, and Wolverine. I will be attending an event entitled One Weekend at Horrorland, but only if we're funded by July 30th. So please get your tickets or pledge to the Kickstarter today, bub. Come on, we need your help to make this very special, spooky weekend happen. Tim Jacobus, the original illustrator for Goosebumps, the series, will be there as well.
Slappy loves Tim.
You don't want to miss this, bub. If you do, I will hunt you down.
And Slappy will make you his slave.
Come on.
And we're back, everyone. I'd like to remind everybody there is still time to donate to the Kickstarter. Get your discounted early bird tickets and or virtual access to watch the entire convention from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world. It's a stacked guest list. Let's see, we've got announced Catherine Long and Catherine Short, both from The Haunted Mask 1 and 2, along with Amos Crawley and various episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then Catherine Short was also Sue in A Night in Terror Tower in the 90s Goosebumps series. We've got both Tim Jacobus and Craig White, Goosebumps books cover artists. Tim Jacobus, most of the original run, and then Craig White did, I think, about half of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books. We also have, I'm racking my brain, who else we got? We've got I already said Amos Crowley. We've got Avery Jones, the puppeteer for Slappy in the Goosebumps movies, 1 and 2.
Oh, that's cool.
There's so many, I keep forgetting. Debbie Lynn, the author of the Unveiled book series, will be there. Musical performances by both Again and Forever and Velena, including Velena's reimagined Goosebumps theme, which is now the official theme of the Goosebumps Crew podcast. And of course, you're going to see the Goosebumps Crew podcast. And then I forgot, I knew I forgot somebody. They were just recently announced, or I should say she was just recently announced. And I cannot remember her name for the life of me, so bear with me. What is her name? Becky Lantos, who was in the episode Stay Out of the Basement. And then let's see who else we got, because I know I'm forgetting somebody because I always forget someone. Oh, Cal Dodd, who was in the video, the voice of Slappy the Dummy and
Uh-huh.
Wolverine in X-Men the Animated Series and X-Men 97. And then we have Alan Doucette, who's a prop master for the 90s Goosebumps TV show. And there's more, there's so much more in the works. You aren't going to want to miss this. Make sure you donate to the Kickstarter, tell your friends, share the link, get people to donate this, help us make it happen so that we can put on the best show, the best convention for you guys. That being said, the best show that WWE can put on for you, hopefully, will continue. And boy, I wouldn't. These are probably the only two guys that could follow the world title match, though. Logan Paul is defending his U.S. title against LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think LA Knight's going to win it. I think it's time.
That's the one match I said he has to win. Like,
Pretty
you know,
much.
he really has to win.
They
Plus,
had a really
Logan
good.
is in legal troubles, or not legal troubles, but you know, the crypto scam. He's suing someone, someone's suing him.
He's
You
suing
know,
someone.
so, yeah, I think he was trying to sue. Is a YouTuber who
Uh,
exposed him. about the crypto scam he was in.
was gonna say I don't
So,
know I don't know anything about that. What's going on with that?
oh really?
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like he made some crypto type scam where people invest and they never got their money. It was like a couple of millions of bucks, the dollars, and a lot of people was out of money. There's a YouTuber called CoffeeZilla who exposed it, and
hmm.
he's trying to sue him, like I guess for slander or something. I'm not sure if it's going through or not, but yeah.
Well, I suppose so. This is probably controversial. In Logan Paul's defense, if you fall for a crypto scheme nowadays, you kind of deserve to get.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I didn't get because I was like, it's not the first time he done like a shady scam, so why would you invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to him? But people felt like he grew up and it was a legitimate business. You know,
Well,
like
but I guess here's my thing. I doubt it was a scam. It probably just didn't work out. And unfortunately, investments are never a sure thing. That's why they're
yeah,
investments. They are a risk. And to
uh-huh,
me, in 2023, 2024, if you get taken by a crypto scam or a crypto venture, you kind of deserve to get defrauded because we
uh-huh,
know it's like we know already that there's only a handful of coins that are actually worth not even yeah, a handful of coins that are actually worth a damn, and they're boring because they're now the titans and they don't grow like the little ones do. Um,
yeah,
so I kind of feel like
yeah. It
if
was
you
like
and
a pump and dump type crypto thing where no, you get your audience to invest in this coin. They all invest into it, and then the only people who makes the money is the people who was in it before you told them to invest. That way
yeah,
they could sell high. You know.
now if you do a crypto exchange like that, that is fraud. We found out with
Okay.
FTX. But the problem it wasn't. But it wasn't fraud in the sense that it was exchange that tanked. It was fraud in the sense that he was taking people's money and instead of investing it in the crypto that they thought they were investing it in, he was spending
Oh,
it.
okay, okay. Gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
like it's one thing if you buy like if you bought Bitcoin and it just bottomed out, just sorry about your luck. Better luck next time.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly. Uh-huh.
if you bought Bitcoin in an exchange and then they
Hmm.
said you had Bitcoin, but instead of actually giving you Bitcoin, which is actually not possible with Bitcoin, which is one of the reasons why it's actually valuable. But let's just say actually with FTX, it
Uh-huh.
was money in their account. So if you put money in the account but don't buy crypto with it, and then they take that money and spend it, but like if you put in 5 grand and they spend your 5 grand, but they still tell you you have 5 grand, that
Yeah,
that is fraud.
yeah, yeah.
Buying $5,000 worth of Bitcoin and having the price get cut in half is not that's not a scam. That's just a bad investment, and it happens.
Hmm.
But when you're as big as Logan Paul, because I guess somebody was like trying to sue him over Prime too, about it
Oh yeah,
allegedly
and
having toxic ingredients, and
yeah.
I'm just like, I can't even believe people were that stupid. Like, you do realize that mass market food and drinks like that have to be approved by the FDA, right? Like you know that they have to be commercially
Uh-huh.
available. So like no, it's fine. It's probably not healthy for you, but like it's not radioactive or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it's totally not healthy, but it's
it's
just
it's
it doesn't even
it's not
taste
gonna
good.
it's not gonna kill you today,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It'll
but
slowly do
prolonged
it.
exposure is another story. But yeah, but when you're as big as Logan Paul, people are gonna come after you just because you're big. So
Uh-huh.
that's why whenever a celebrity gets sued, I take it with a massive grain of salt because it's like it's probably not true because a lot of people don't know is very, very wealthy people or very, very famous people often settle out of court because it's cheaper.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's literally cheaper to pay somebody off than to take it to court and pay the
Yeah,
lawyers and do this, do
and
that.
the hassle of it.
Yeah. And in a civil case, you don't have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It's kind of the opposite. You have to like the burden of proof is not on the plaintiff. It's on you to defend yourself. So it's a different animal. So I don't know. Most of the time, plaintiffs win civil cases unless it's just absolutely ridiculous. But
Yeah.
well, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that would make sense. Logan calls Triple H up and he's like, "Yeah, I need to drop the belt because I'm going to be going in and out of court." You're like, you should take the belt with him. Cut a promo on the judge.
That'd be good.
It'd be worth it. Where it's like, "Mr. Paul, I'm going to hold you in contempt, and I'm going to hold you in a sharpshooter." Judge doesn't watch wrestling. Hears the word shooter, just freaks out. And he's
Yeah,
like, and Logan's like, "No, no," as he's being dragged out in handcuffs. "No, no, it's a wrestling hold." Yeah, LA. That being said, LA Knight better win this.
yeah, like he's been through the mud for too long, you know. And when he was like really white hot, they I don't know, dropped it. They didn't let
Yeah, I
him
know.
win.
That was a
That was
shame.
sad.
I think if we've learned anything, LA Knight can get himself over though. So he'll,
Oh yeah. I'm confident that if he wins, he can like take it to the next level.
yeah, he'll make the U.S. title actually relevant for the first time in a
Yeah.
while. Yeah. Following that, speaking of titles that don't mean anything, Sami Zayn is defending the IC title against Braun Breaker, and it's about to mean something because Braun Breaker is going to win that shit.
Oh yeah. It will. He will. That's
Eh,
another one where he has to. He kept losing against Sammy, and it
Yeah,
made no sense.
and I have a theory, which it's not my theory, but I heard Jim Cornette say it, and I'm like, I kind of think they're going to do this. So, as we all know, when Braun Breaker was signed to NXT, Vince was still around, and
Yeah.
Vince doesn't like to use names that he can't own. Triple H is different. And it's like with Braun Breaker, listen, everybody knows he's a Steiner. Everybody
Looks like
knows.
one.
Looks like
It's in
one,
his
talks like
DNA.
one,
Yeah.
fucking wrestles like one.
Yeah.
He,
Can't
he's
hide
a, he's a
it.
Steiner. So Jim Cornette actually said, they said, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna change his name, it would be the perfect time. He wins the IC title and says, cuts a promo and basically just says, all right, look, now I've proven that I'm good enough on my own. I'm not living in my dad's shadow. I'm gonna drop the gimmick name and I'm gonna go, to my which what is his
I was gonna say I had no idea what his
oh,
first name is.
oh Bronson. So he could go by Braun Steiner
Oh,
because
okay.
his given name is Bronson Rex Steiner, but son of Rick Steiner. So you can just be like, my name is Braun Steiner, and that's what I'm gonna be. Blah 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 blah. And I think they should. But the reason I believe they will do that is because they just did the A&E documentary about the Steiners,
Oh, okay.
and that kind of came out of nowhere.
Hmm.
Like, because I mean, nobody's really clamoring for Steiner footage. Not that I dislike the Steiners, but I mean, they weren't really relevant in a way. But this seems to be a way to
Exactly.
get that name in the sort of zeitgeist of wrestling again.
Hmm.
So I think you're going to see that happen.
I would hoped so. When I first heard the name Braun Breaker, I was like, "Where is that? Like,
Vince
why?"
McMahon, that's what it was.
Yeah. It made no sense. Like,
No. Well, and then the other thing too is I guess he started using like moves with, or at least the announcers have started calling the moves with the word Steiner in them. Like I guess he's doing the
yeah, they have.
Frankensteiner.
Yeah,
Which, holy shit, what a move.
yeah. It's one of my favorites.
But yeah, Braun Breaker's he's gonna beat Sami Zayn so hard he's gonna change his name.
At least
All
I would
right.
hope so.
Yeah. It'll be a good match though.
Yeah. Regardless.
It'll be a hell of a match. And then we come to the what looks like it will be the main event. And here's the thing, I don't disagree with the people being involved, but if they had a title, they could be the main event. CM
Yeah,
Punk
that's what I was thinking too.
CM Punk against Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. Um, this
Honestly, I
is
don't like this too
I,
much.
I kind of agree with you. Now, I trust them to pull it off, but I don't know. This is another one. I don't know where they're going, but I'm okay with it because
Hmm.
I'm enjoying the ride. But I legitimately don't know. You gotta think Drew's got to get one over on Punk here, but then where do they go?
Yeah. The thing for me is Steph. Like, I just wish he wasn't in there involved in the match. I wish it was just between Punk and Drew. To me, they both owe it to each other. Just them two. And
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. And then at the same time, too, what is Drew just gonna lose again?
Yeah.
Like, so this kind of has to be a blow off or a continuation, but a blow off just makes Drew look weak. But Punk losing, unless like Seth and maybe Seth and Drew are gonna gang up on Punk, but then you know
You
what it
would think
might,
so, because they both hate Punk.
you know what it
You
might
know,
be though? It
someone
might be
else
a
is
way
going
to,
to come in.
yeah, Cena.
Yeah. I would think that. That would be like a tag match.
That could
Yeah,
be
because we,
fun.
yeah, yeah,
That could be really fun. Punk and Cena as tag champs for a couple months.
yeah,
That
yeah. I
could
can
be
see
really
that.
fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that might be what they're gonna do. Real talk. I think that might be what they're gonna do.
'Cause there's no tag matches on this pay-per-view, so that would be cool if that match turns into a little bit of like a tag match between the two, or eventually ends up being a tag match later on.
I think it'll eventually end up, but I think you're gonna see Drew and Seth screw Punk on this one
Yeah,
because they again they're making a conscious effort WWE on social media to show Punk and Cena together like on their official pages. So they're and that's the other thing.
yeah,
So WWE's social media is so much smarter than AEW's. It's not even funny.
yeah.
Like it's they're not even on the same planet. Like WWE is planting seeds. Like there's a reason to follow WWE on TikTok and Instagram. Like there is a legitimate reason because they plant things. AEW, like I saw today, they were showing clips from Blood and Guts, and I saw them put thumbtacks in Max Caster's mouth and super kick him, even though he obviously had spit out all the thumbtacks by the time they got around to kicking him, which thank God. Like,
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to see that.
well, I
Just, uh,
the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just like, this is too much. This is too much. And then they do the bit where like four guys are legitimately stapling Swerve Strickland across his entire body. And I'm like, why? Why are we? This is so dumb. Because, like, here's the thing I'm having accidentally stapled myself before. I'll tell you this, and this is why it doesn't make sense for so many reasons. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong, it hurts.
yeah,
It will not stop a motherfucker from kicking your ass. It'll just piss him off. So it
yeah.
really doesn't make any sense to do it. You're putting yourself way too close to another person who wants to beat you up to cause them. I mean, like I said, it hurts, but not enough to like. Although I will say the one bit that made me chuckle is apparently Swerve like gets it gets the stapler away from him and staples them, and then Okada flips him the bird, and then he staples Okada's middle finger.
Oh, that's cool.
But
I kind of want to see that.
that shouldn't have been Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah,
Okada's not a
that's true.
comedy wrestler, even though like I said, I'm sure Okada's healing and having fun right now, but this is just I saw that and I'm like, on the other channel, I get to see the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley and good shit, which I
Yeah.
guess now Mercedes Monet is now taunting, or I guess she beat Nyla Rose. I was like, wow, I totally spaced her name by using the lockjaw with her own custom CEO glove.
Yeah, oh, so she's going against Britt Baker. I think Britt won against the other girl. Shia?
Oh, I don't, yeah, because they had a match at Blood and Guts, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, which, okay,
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty sure
here's
she won.
just to shit on AEW some more. When was the last time Sheeta was on television?
Oh, that was like at least about 4 months, 5 months ago, something like that.
and now all of a
She looks
sudden
different.
she's, yeah.
I didn't even
But
know it was
now
her.
I know, right? I saw her on the poster. I said, "Oh, it's Sheeta," because her name's right under it, right? But
Yeah,
and now
yeah,
she's in
that's how.
now she, and now she's in a marquee. She hasn't been on television for at least 4 months, and now she's in a marquee match on a big show, not a pay-per-view, but a big show. The fuck? Like this, the booking just when you thought it couldn't make less sense, it it's making less and less sense. Who was gonna fight Tony Storm?
Oh yeah, the other girl. Forgot her name. The girl who used to be her like
Oh, Mariah. Oh
lackey,
yeah, that's right. That's right. They did
Mariah.
set it up for Mariah May.
Yeah, yeah,
So Britt Baker comes back to AEW television because she didn't leave AEW. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And instead of going after the world title from someone that she did Tony win the title from her? I can't remember now.
I don't think so. I think Tony won it from was supposed to have won it from Jamie Hayter. Was it her or was it
Hang on, I'm looking
uh
at the
I forgot.
I'm looking. Oh, she won a vacated title.
Yeah, yeah. Because what's she called? The girl left who got injured. Oh, I
Okay,
forgot. I know
so
her name.
so so here Thunder Rosa was originally scheduled
Yeah,
to
Thunder
defend the
Rosa.
title again. Well, she was originally defended to scheduled to defend the title against Storm at the event, but was pulled due to suffering an injury. Storm instead faced and defeated Dr. Britt Baker, Hikaru
Oh, okay.
Shida, and Jamie Hayter in a four-way match. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I knew she was in it. Yeah, I
so
forgot that
so hang on. Oh, and then Jamie Hayter won it, and then Tony beat her for it. Hikaru Shida won it. Then Saraya won it. Then Shida won it again, and then Tony Storm beat Shida for it.
one.
Wow, this is so stupid.
Yeah, it is. I get it, they have history, Britt and Shia, but still, mm, it'll
Well,
be good. A little bit more build up.
but here's my point because it still makes sense. I just have to frame it a little bit different. So Britt Baker, who has been AEW Women's World Champion before and has faced Tony Storm for said belt, comes back and instead decides to go after Mercedes Moné, who, in terms of AEW television, they've never met before.
Uh-huh.
And it would make enough sense if Mercedes was AEW World Women's Champion, but she's not. She's got the TBS title.
Yeah, yeah,
She's got the mid card belt and a belt that doesn't even belong in that company. Why? Why would Why? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would Britt Baker not jump Tony Storm?
exactly.
Again, just thinking logically. Now, Wrestling Brain
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
well,
Hmm.
Tony's in a program with Mariah May. Okay, fair enough. Then don't have Britt Baker come back.
Yeah.
Like
Or at
this
least not
just
in like the title matches.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Because she's not
yeah,
directly involved with Tony, so you could have her, but it doesn't
yeah,
make sense. It doesn't make sense for her to come back and face a champion that's not the world champion, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I really
But
don't like the TBS belt at all. To me, it's like the 24/7 belt.
well, it is the Godfather's championship.
Yeah,
Did
it's like
you
one
know what
step
I'm
above. Yeah, I know.
no you know what I'm the hose title?
Yeah, 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 I know exactly what you're talking
Oh,
about. Yeah, yeah. I seen the podcast.
I now I can't unsee that now. But actually now I'm curious, so we just kind of skimmed through. I'm curious the TBS title because I know Jade Cargill won it first, but let's. So Jade Cargill lost it to Chris Statlander, who lost it to Julia Hart, who then lost it to Willow, who then lost it to Mercedes. So there have only been five TBS titles, TBS champions. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like slightly less than the world title, but it's not as, and Jade Cargill though still holds by far the record for
Of course. I don't think no one's gonna beat her yet. Like 50 or
508
something.
days.
Yeah.
So that's that's not quite a year and a half, but almost a year and a half, not
Yeah, it's
quite,
close.
but close. And then the second, well, okay, so of course Statlander had it for 174 days. Wow, they're getting shorter because then Julia had it for 155, Willow had it for 35,
Yeah,
and Mercedes has had it for 60 plus days. But she's only defended it once, right?
yeah. So it's like she has it, but does she really? Like, if no one like challenged her for
And
it?
and everybody's bitching about Roman never wrestling.
Yeah,
And now they want Roman so bad. The best thing they did was let him go away for a while.
hmm
Sometimes that's what you need. Like Britt Baker is red hot right now because she was gone.
yeah.
And
I really
and
did miss her
and they're
while
not but
she
they're
was
not
gone.
they're not capitalizing on that. I mean, I guess in a way they are because okay, I guess and I'm being too harsh because if it's Britt Mercedes, I will want to watch that match because Britt Baker's in it. I'm just saying it could be better booking booking wise.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that really so much the matches I have a problem with. It's just the storylines or the lack of them. There's so little storylines or build up or anything. Nothing lasts forever in there. It's like it's just
So
match after match.
again, for the logic though, given the story as we've seen it, why would Swerve Strickland agree to be in Blood and Guts? It doesn't make any sense. Why would the world champion, who I mean, I guess the elites kind of they haven't really been that big of a thorn in their side, in his side.
No, and that's the problem. They should be.
They should
If
be.
they were, I could
Absolutely,
see.
they should. Well, because what they should be doing is they should be trying to shoehorn Okada in to get him the AEW title. That's what they should be doing.
Exactly. Hmm.
And then it would have made sense for him to be in Blood and Guts because it's like, hey,
Yeah,
you EVPs, like you keep trying to undermine me to get the title on your boy, but I'm not having it. You know, what they should be
yeah.
doing, because they did get the TNT title on Jack Perry. The Bucks should be trying to get the tag title. Or do they have the tag titles?
I believe that. Yeah, there we have it. There
Yeah,
we
they
have
do.
it.
So they should be trying to get the world title on Okada,
Yeah,
but they're not. And it doesn't make any sense at all because that's how they could actually prevent themselves from being fired because I can see Tony, which actually no, even that doesn't work because if Jack Perry's team, well, you can make an argument if Jack Perry, you can make this argument though, if Jack Perry is a champion, technically speaking, like he could be fired, but Tony would not be incentivized to fire him because then it looks like he's
he's the
screwing the
champion. Yeah,
champion. Yeah.
yeah,
So the championship gives Perry and Okada job security because you're certainly not going to fire your world champion unless he gives you no other choice. Like you're not going to want to do
yeah.
it. So that
Unless he
would make
yells at you.
sense. He wasn't the world champion.
Oh, okay.
He was the real world champion. Unless he yells at you. God damn it. I wasn't ready for that. Neither was Tony.
Exactly.
How fucking soft do you have to be, man? You think Tony
He's
peed a
so.
little? I bet he peed a
Oh
little.
God, he had to.
I'm
That's why
sure
he was
he,
stand
he
out.
I'm sure he was shaking the rest of the night. Oh God, Tony. Tony, Tony, Tony. I'm trying to say good things about AEW, but every time I start to think, oh, they're gonna turn it around, then they just do something stupid. Like I looked at the lineup for a collision a couple weeks ago. I'm like, this card is horrendously bad. Like who would
Yeah,
want to watch this? Who sees this card and goes, ooh, it's I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. It's AEW is like the old WWE when I was like, oh, I had to switch off, start watching for at least a year or two.
Yeah, everything's predictable and none of the
Yeah.
matches are booked particularly well. Nothing makes sense. Um, I was gonna say one thing. You told me Oh, hologram.
Oh yeah. The hologram match. With the other guy, Gringo, Loco,
Gringo
the Loco
Loco.
Gringo. Yeah,
But you told me, you said you watched it and I hadn't seen it yet, and you said this
yeah.
place looks like an indie.
It did. It looked like a generic indie warehouse type thing. I didn't understand why it looks so empty.
Yeah. But what's funny about that is, like, I knew you had said it, and the minute that video came across my feed, I instantly understood what you meant.
Yeah.
I would, if the AEW logos hadn't been on the turnbuckle, I would have thought this was a random ass
Exactly.
indie.
Exactly.
Like it's just bad. And so I don't mean to take any away from this hologram guy, but
Hmm. I
he's
actually like him.
doing he's
Yeah.
well, but he's not. I know he's had one
It's
match, so like take this with a grain
it's
of
not
salt.
new what he's doing.
Yeah,
I just
exactly. It's
yeah,
not special.
it's luchador wrestling.
Well,
You've
but
seen one,
it's
you see them
luchador
all.
it's
Kind of.
luchador wrestling that, like, for example, we've seen Hijo del Vikingo do those same moves but better.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
the cooperation was obvious. Like, I hate that move. I can't even remember what you call it. It's like a spinning Rana where the guy, like, gets picked up and then he spins the guy, but it's
Yeah.
obvious. It's obvious the guy that's,
Yeah. I hate the guy who's taking is actually doing the movement
but it's obvious because
himself.
you can
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
his. That's not a
yeah,
thing you can do because you have no way to generate momentum. So it looks phony. It's
yeah, yeah. It
obviously
does.
fake. And you can see the guy spinning his own feet.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a Hurricane Rana makes sense in theory because I can see you jumping off the top rope, wrapping your legs around a dude's neck, and then just flipping him. See Rey
Yeah, that's
Mysterio.
logic.
Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Stopping, getting lifted up, and then spinning makes that's not even possible.
Yeah. I
It's
really hate
not.
that move.
Well,
Yeah,
because
I've seen it done so many times.
if you could generate that much momentum, you would just bring the guy over into the Hurricane Rana, not spin. It doesn't make any sense. And that's my problem is I think too much about this shit. I know, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, I'm serious. Like you have to like dispense your disbelief or thinking ability for a bit, but still, something's just out there.
Sure, but here's the
It's
thing.
just too out there.
So I know that when somebody gives somebody else a DDT, I know that that's not I know it's a work, right? But sometimes the
Yeah,
people that are really good, they take that DDT and you're just like
or just like hope they're
I know
okay,
he
but
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Exactly. It's like I know that they're protected, but that
yeah.
looked rough.
Alexa
Swerve's
Bliss, she does one of the best ones. Love her DDT.
Swerve's head kicks.
Yeah. Oh
Like, oh my
yes, yeah.
God.
I really think he does connect, even though he probably doesn't. But
That's the
I think
thing.
he connects. Yeah,
It looks like
yeah,
he's killing him.
yeah,
Because if that were legitimate, he could kill someone with that. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and it's fucking amazing. Like, it's
Yeah, it's that brutal kick in back of the head while he's facing the opposite
oh
direction. Yeah,
oh, it makes you feel queasy sometimes. You're just like,
yeah.
oh,
It's like,
Kenny Snapdragon suplex. That
yeah,
looks gnarly.
that was forceful. He doesn't like,
Yeah, it's. I've
pouring the
always been
ice in the morning.
right. I've always been a fan of. I'm a bigger fan of that than the one winged angel. Because now I will say this about the one winged angel though, the way they do that move is fantastic because he can't put it on too early. Because if
Yeah,
somebody's like conscious of it, they'll just move. He's got to wear somebody down. But once you can lock that in, it would
yeah,
be it would be a rough thing, or at least it looks like it's a rough thing. Obviously, they're
yeah.
protected.
It's one of the few definitely finisher moves because like you have to use it as a finisher,
Yeah,
or when
because
the
it won't
person's
work.
like, yeah, is exactly.
Yeah, it's not like a DDT where you can get somebody in that position and just drop them.
Hmm.
You have to incapacitate somebody to do that move. Otherwise, they're just going to move, right?
Uh-huh.
But like I said, I'm a much bigger fan of the Snapdragon suplex because it just looks gnarly. Um, I swear I wasn't planning on shitting on AEW. I just thought of that, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I want them to do better, but I think Tony's just got to give the book up.
You have so much potential. It's the
I
same thing I
mean,
was saying for WWE for a couple of years. Like they have so much talent, so much potential, and they're just not utilizing it
well,
for some reason.
what I would honestly like to see is I think Tony, see, here's the thing. If Tony wants to book in his style, honestly, he should be booking Rampage because that's the kind of show Rampage is. But I would say this: if I were in a if I had Tony Zero, I'd say, look, Tony, okay, I get it. You don't want to give up complete booking to somebody else. Why don't we do this just to try it out? Just to try it out. Let Jeff Jarrett book Collision. What have you got to
Yeah,
lose? It can't get worse. Like, and then now you're freed up to focus on Dynamite. And honestly, you should get, like I said, Rampage might as well be, and I mean this, I'm not being facetious. Rampage, honestly, for the kind of show it is, Rampage should honestly be like a random selection.
yeah. It reminds me like how Dark was or Elevation, I think it was called.
Rampage should be basically what Elevation was. And Elevation was good.
Yeah.
Elevation
Hmm.
was the only YouTube series that I actually watched because the matches were actually interesting because you had,
Yeah.
you know, younger unknowns going against like lower to upper mid card guys and girls, and occasionally would win. And they used it when Britt Baker needed to get her stats up so that she could challenge for the world title. They actually used Dark and Elevation perfectly and Rampage. She was on every one winning matches and she got her wins up. And I was like, holy shit, it makes sense.
Really good.
And everybody got to see Britt Baker more.
Hmm.
So this is phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a win-win. She get her stats up and get exposed to more people who
But
might not
Ramp
have saw her.
So Rampage, like by its very nature, Rampage is a show that's never going to have stellar ratings just because of what it is, and I'm not dogging on it. So use it. It should literally be random pairings, no main event talent, or at least very sparing main event talent.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could get gold there and not even know it. So that was I say this. It wasn't. Actually it might have been Rampage. It was either Rampage or Dark. I think it might have been Dark. But anyway, that's the match against Red Velvet and Sky Blue. That came out of
Oh.
nowhere. That was completely random, but the match was amazing and got Sky Blue hired.
Hmm.
So Rampage should be lower and mid carders randomly put together, or even lower card people in the middle of the show, and just see what people got. Let them go out there and show off. That's what Rampage should be.
Exactly.
And you frame it as a way as like you can even say it on air. Rampage is the show where you get noticed, you
Yeah, and
know,
like you never gonna know who's gonna be there, or new
or and
talent you may
then
not never seen.
well, and that can be the one where like so that could be where you'd see like a Kyle Fletcher, not a Kyle Fletcher, I'm sorry, Nick Wayne, and
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nick Wayne would be the one to come out and like call somebody out, or like Hook would be a perfect main event
Yeah, I
for a
was gonna say yeah,
Rampage,
Hulk. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, but again, they're not utilizing Rampage for what it should be, and they're certainly not utilizing Collision for what it should be. Like they should have separate rosters, save for the champions. The champions are on every show
Hmm.
except Rampage. But like like the TNT champion could main event Rampage any day, like anytime,
Absolutely.
hands down. Um, but yeah, you like Swerve Strickland's not going to be on Rampage, but Darby Allin would be as a main eventer and Rampage. MJF would never be on Rampage.
No, no.
He can't be. And make it a point, it's beneath me. So, and then honestly, Dynamite and Collision should have separate rosters. And I was actually against that in the very beginning when they were bringing Collision out. I was against it, but now I think you have to.
I heard somewhere about that AEW draft. Not sure it's official. It's going to happen. I just some had like an advertisement for it, or they made
If
it.
if Tony's not booking both shows, then you have to split the rosters. If Tony's booking both shows, then you don't split the rosters because it doesn't make any sense. But seriously, they should give Collision to Jeff Jarrett and then but here's the thing, I think deep down Tony knows that Jeff will make Collision the A show.
He doesn't want that.
He
Yeah,
doesn't want that. Is like
yeah,
it's like how Vince purposefully didn't want SmackDown to be the A show, so he would sabotage him
yeah.
whenever they started doing better.
Yeah.
It's like who
I don't
cares,
get
man?
that part. It's your own company. Like, why not? When one you win regardless.
Exactly.
I
It's like,
don't get
damn
that
it, I
part.
beat me.
Yeah, yeah. Billion years.
But yeah, I think that's about the only way you can save AEW because Tony needs to be shown, hey, this is what happens when you book things properly, and it's not going to happen overnight. But if you and I would do a press release saying if you're going to do it, you do a press release because that would get me interested. I would watch Collision immediately.
Yeah,
Be like
same here.
Jeff Jarrett is going to book Collision. Oh, I get to see like Memphis style wrestling in 2024. I'd watch the shit out of that. Just good old school Southern wrestling.
Yeah, they gotta do something because honestly, I think with the ratings are going, I'm not too sure AEW is gonna be around for the next 3 to 5 years.
Here's the silver lining. It will be around so long as Tony Khan wants to spend money on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But and here's kind of the double-edged sword. So I don't think Tony will lose interest in it because he's having too much fun. But let's say Tony did lose interest in it.
Hmm.
Ironically, that would probably save the company. But
Yeah, it would be.
yeah, but Punk honestly, he put it out there and it's been all but confirmed. It's not about making money. It's not about selling tickets. It's not about selling merch. It's about Tony booking supercards, indie supercards,
Yeah.
and oh, and I even forgot Ring of Honor. You should give Ring of Honor to
Oh,
someone.
yeah. Yeah. I'm so sad for bringing Honor. Like, it's such a good show.
Why are you
It
not?
was,
I
you
don't.
know.
I just don't understand why is he not trying to get it on TV or streaming. I don't understand this.
Even YouTube. Put it on YouTube.
For real, yeah, put it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Like
I
Dark was
just
on YouTube for a while.
But I
I
mean,
saw like
you could easily
matches.
get Ring of Honor on television.
Yeah, I did that.
I just don't understand. Like, and you've got he's got the entire video library and he's doing fuck all with it. That's why it should be on a
Yeah.
streaming platform because you've got the entire. You could have
Oh,
if
that's true.
put
Oh,
it on put it. It
yeah.
should. This is what they
Wasn't
should
thinking
do.
that.
Ring of Honor should be on Max, and I'm surprised the people at Max aren't like, hey,
Yeah.
like we're in the same company. They could have the entire Ring of Honor video library available on Max.
Yeah, you
They
can see
could
all CM Punk matches.
they
You
could get
know.
subscribers based on that alone. You could go back and
Yeah.
watch all of the old Ring of Honor matches.
Mhm.
I don't understand. And I think Tony's doing too much. I think that's part of the reason. He's spread too thin because he is only one man, even though he doesn't sleep, apparently.
Yeah.
Eh, somebody else needs to be put in charge of Ring of Honor. And at this point, it realistically should be treated as a different company. Now I understand you're saving money by having Ring of Honor tour with AEW, but as far as its presentation on television, it honestly should be a separate company.
She really is. To me, it's
I,
doing a disservice for the wrestlers too. I haven't seen them in like months. Athena, she's amazing. Haven't seen her in like over 6 months.
yep. I'm just who should they book? Well, and here's the other thing they should do is they should fire Excalibur.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
trash.
and even if you don't want to fire him, get him off of Dynamite. Give that job to. I mean, you could give it to Ian Riccaboni, Nigel McGuinness. Although Nigel McGuinness is on Collision, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I think here's what I think you should do. I think you can do Ian Riccaboni and Taz. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think you should do Ian Riccaboni and um, um, Nigel McGuinness for Dynamite,
Hmm.
and Taz and Caprice Coleman for Collision, and then put Excalibur on Rampage if you must have him somewhere. Because I also don't want to solely Ring of Honor with his. I just, I don't understand. It's like they have all the talent in the world, and they lost even more talent. Like they literally had
Yeah,
CM Punk. They had CM Punk, and they fucked it up.
they had CM
I
Punk. They had Miro.
they
Uh,
technically they still have Miro, but
oh, they do. Oh,
yeah, I don't think he got released
oh,
or
oh.
didn't renew or something. You got Adam Copeland and you injured him.
Well, technically, he did himself. Like, I still don't get why.
Adam Copeland should not have been allowed to do that spot.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
That's true.
just on
Like, someone should
age
show him no.
age and card position
Yeah,
should have been like, you know what, Adam, you don't need to do that. You're already over. Don't
yeah.
take
Like,
Garby. Don't
just
take
Darby.
Darby's gimmick.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it looked like.
Darby just stomps backstage and be like, "I'm the one who tries to commit suicide on television. That's my gimmick." Oh man.
Yeah, text Adam.
Yeah, they have a gimmick infringement grudge match where
Yeah.
they both just try to commit suicide on air. They keep stopping each other from jumping off the tallest thing. And then the match ends with a Spanish fly off of like an arena post. Just
Blast.
yeah, glass, barbed wire, fire. And then they and then they act surprised when they actually injure themselves. Anyway, so that's SummerSlam. It looks like it's going to be a good one. I certainly hope it's going to be a good one. And I suppose that's it
Pretty
for
sure it
this
would
one.
be.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be good. WWE has been very, very good as of late. But that is it. That is the card. So make sure you watch SummerSlam. We'll see where we were right, where we were wrong, and get your tickets. Donate to the Kickstarter for one weekend at Horrorland. Hopefully, we will see you there. And don't forget, claim your autographs in the comments. All you got to do is comment which one you want, and it is yours once you prove that you have made your pledge to the Kickstarter. First link in the description. So
Great deal.
it is a great deal. Come on,
It is.
you can't beat these prices, brother. Well, I guess that is it. So unless you have anything else to add, we'll get out of here.
Yep, that was everything. Over it. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, we will see you in 2 weeks on the next episode of Down the Middle. Until
Yep.
then, off is the direction you